Welcome to the Passing Notes podcast. This week was my week, I being Jack Hansen. Today I'm joined, of course, by my three lovely co-hosts, my father, Mark Hansen, my older brother, Bart, and my good friend, Cale Jones. This week, my week was Harry Styles' Fine Line, as requested by my girlfriend, Jaslyn Luckman, who's been on my ass for months about it. So here we are. And I thought I'd bring something a little more, each of us kind of have our spot, Dad being the old kind of radio hits, Bart being kind of the hipster vibe, Cale bringing the weirdest shit he can find or whatever he's on next week, and me being, I guess, today's hits. And I got occasionally the oddball pick.
I got some stuff.
I got a mixed bag.
Really. I got stuff.
Yeah. But before we get into this week's podcast, we are going to go over last week's comments. That being the Doors. We have a comment from Jaders, the usual suspect, saying, "LA woman, what the heck? Call me the most basic of bitches, but Break On Through is the banger of all bangers. I screamed that in my car."
No way.
Otherwise, quick note, Bart was robbed with Riders on the Storm not being picked, and the documentary film starring Val Kilmer is amazing if you haven't seen it. He's told me about that quite a bit, and I should probably see it, or at least
an Oliver Stone movie.
Kilmer playing the lead singer.
Yeah, I thought I heard it was a POS.
I heard so as well.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we gotta find out. I guess we have to be the judges.
Let's wait for next week's comments and we'll find out.
All right. This week we have, like I said before, Fine Line by Harry Styles, which also happens to be another album of a producer we seem to have a lot on this show, Rick Rubin.
Of course.
Was the producer.
No way. I looked this shit up. I didn't see Rubin's name on this anywhere.
Yeah, he's the producer. They recorded it at Shangri-La, his his studio. He's on this album, bro. I don't know what you want.
Where did you see that? I need to see source on this.
The majority of his
Because his name doesn't come up. His name doesn't come up. Jeff Basker, Tyler Johnson, Kid Harpoon, Greg Kirsten.
I'm telling you, bro. It was recorded in his Shangri-La studio.
That doesn't necessarily mean it's him, right? It's just at his studio.
I think usually if you're using this studio, he's involved in some way. Listen, I'll do a quick fact check right here.
Let's do it.
Fine Line. Wait.
Fascinating.
Oh, okay. No, it was just recorded in his studio. My bad. Maybe I'm wrong. All right. I thought it was him. Okay.
Now.
Okay.
Reason why I went so hard on that. Am I lagging out or am I good?
You're good.
Okay. The only reason I'm going so hard on that is because I might as well get this out now. Is I was incredibly impressed with the production on this album.
For sure.
To where it was so good and I liked so much of it, I was like, this has got to be a Rubin joint. Because I know I love so much of what he does. And so I looked. I had to look, and I would never look up a producer,
Sure.
But
hey,
I had to.
I mean, good on you. I mean, if you thought the producing was that good and caused you to look it up, hey, more power to you. And that was just, I was actually testing you guys. I knew all along it wasn't Rick Rubin. I was just
all right.
Big brain stuff.
Okay. So yes, I had been introduced, I think, like I said last week on the podcast, to Fine Line and Harry Styles in general by my girlfriend Jaslyn. Much to my chagrin, I didn't really want to because he was from the boy band One Direction, and I was of the time growing up during being young and them being big, not a huge fan of One Direction, because I was a
Yeah, they
child.
got all the chicks. F those guys.
Yeah, screw them, hogging them. Share some
Yeah.
for the little guys. Come on.
Look at me, not Harry Styles in One Direction.
God. Yes. Much like Justin Bieber, except times 4.
Besides, we're way too cool to listen to those guys.
Yeah. I'm all about Panic at the Disco and Fall Out Boy. Hell yeah. My Chemical Romance. Yeah.
Boys, girls.
I was more of a Chumbawamba kid.
You're way too young for Chumbawamba. Get the hell out of here.
Shut up. Have you seen my pics the past few weeks? I'm digging deep.
All right. But yeah,
I'm getting knocked down.
Ended up loving Harry's solo stuff. He's got a great voice. He dabbles in various number of genres, and he does them all pretty good. So I thought I'd put us into Fine Line because it's the most poppy, and I feel like we haven't had like a traditional today's pops album on the podcast yet. So yeah, that's where I thought I'd put us. Does anybody want to talk about how their listens went over the week before we dig into each song here?
Yeah, well, I'm a talker. I'd like to talk anyway, just to preface how this album's going to go for me. There were a few songs that really snatched me up right from the jump and still held on pretty good, and I love those, and I still really like those. And that's probably about half the album, and the other half didn't grab me at all. It's where I'm reaching for things to say a little bit. Okay. Not like it's even necessarily bad. It's just I can tell it. Maybe I'm not giving enough credit to reps, but it just seems like tracks I'm going to flush after this week.
Sure.
But I will say I still kind of had that One Direction attitude going into this album, like pop, Harry Styles. I always see him in stupid, like what seems stupid to me, news media, like him wearing a dress or something. And I'm like, I got more important shit to worry about than what Harry Styles is up to. But
it was controversial, man.
Yes, it was a watershed moment, truly, in pop culture. But I was very impressed with his musicianship, or at least the people he surrounds himself with helping him out too. But there's some good stuff in here. I was very pleasantly surprised.
Awesome. Caleb, got anything?
Sure. I will never forget where I was when I heard the first Harry Styles solo song. I was standing in one of the Spanish hallways at Kennedy High School the day after the album dropped, and a friend of mine came up to me and said, "You have to hear this because you're going to love it. You're just going to love it." And she played Kiwi, and I lost it. I just lost it. I was like, "What? This guy? the one of the One Direction guys? Seriously? This is fabulous." He's, I was so used to categorizing him into the boy band, one of the very commercial, very sellable people that's a part of a boy band. And then I hear him playing an electric guitar, an instrument, and making these vocal sounds that I would expect from a 76-year-old burnt out rock star. And my head exploded. not only lyrically but musically. And then I came to find out he had worked with Jack White on that record and that song in particular, I believe. And I fell in love with it and listened to the album over and over again. But before this, I had never listened to this whole album because I despise one of the songs that was one of his biggest hits. I just don't care for it because it doesn't make sense to me, and we'll get into what that song is. And so I steered clear of this one. But going through this listen, I found myself very much in Bart's shoes. I am pleasantly surprised and actually in love with a handful of songs on this record. And then there's a handful that I really don't care for, and which are repetitive and automatic skips. So in total, this is his second album. It's like he's like in his mid-20s, not even early to mid-20s. It's like this is not going to be the last of his music, and certainly is not going to be the end of it either. So I'm not going to be too overtly critical because he's a young artist still, and he will come out with better and better stuff, which I look forward to.
And that Kiwi song was the one where he's like, "I'm having your baby. It's none of your business." Is that the one?
Uh-huh.
All right, cool. Yeah, I do love that one. And I think I recall telling you guys to check that one out on the other album last week, which is fine if you didn't. Said that one, Sweet Creature, and I believe there was Carolina.
Woman.
I would suggest you checking all those out. They're less poppy and more rocky, except there's one ballad in there, but they're super cool, and he does a great job. Dad, do you have anything you would like to talk about before we dive in here?
I think you've covered it all. I have nothing to add.
All right. Well, let's get started here with Golden.
I suppose that probably means we're talking in the same order then, huh? All right. So right off the bat, I mean, for me, this album starts really strong and then fades a little bit. Maybe sprinkles in some magic as it dies off, but for the most part, it just kicks the door down right away and comes out firing. To me, it's like super pop right off the bat with the I mean, I don't know, that just seems so hooky to me. It's hard not to grab you right away. I think it's an awesome opener, and I also think right away you can notice the trend. This is what I was talking about with the production. It's like I don't know, on the surface the songs don't seem super complex. They seem like simple, ready-made for pop radio, but there's so many nice little things going on they're added in. I don't want to overcomplicate these and try and like mention every little thing, because I think that would, I don't know, that doesn't to me seem like what these songs are all about. I mean, if you want to pay attention and notice them, that's great, but otherwise just enjoy the ride. They're kind of poppy, peppy, feel-good songs, and this is a great one to kick it off with.
Yeah, definitely. Silky smooth, very catchy, somewhat repetitive, but not annoyingly so, at least for me.
Yep.
When judging pop music, there's a scale I use. It is a sliding scale of sweetness. At the top of the scale is sticky sweet. Then pretty sweet. You got your naturally sweet, which is the sweet spot. Barely sweet, and finally not sweet. I'd say this song is pretty sweet.
Awesome.
Wow.
Is that
oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, Bart. Go ahead.
Is that how you're going to rate the rest of the album in terms of sweetness?
It might come up.
I mean, especially with the song titles or lyrical content approaching, I mean, it's not necessarily inappropriate as far as a rating system.
Exactly.
We'll keep that in mind.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Gail.
You're on to me.
Beautiful. This song is beautiful. Very simple, extremely laid back. I'm practically upside down by how laid back this song is. I my first place that I went when I heard the was Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. I was like, oh, this is a little bit Sweet Bluty Jew Eyes. Oh wow, that came out totally. Sweet Judy Blue Eyes. Woo. Okay, take two. I'm sorry. We'll edit that out.
No, we won't.
Somebody clip that.
The hook is cool. The instruments are beautiful. I will mention one thing because Bart pointed out something already that is consistent throughout the album. There are so many little audio details and little things that even if you're listening extremely carefully, you'll miss if you're not paying attention, which is great for me. I like to look at or listen to music that's more complex and find things that I've been missing. But one of the things that I noticed immediately was this really awesome slide acoustic guitar that's going on in the background during the chorus, which is beautiful, and I love it. Completely different. Well, not completely, but very different from the Harry Styles that I know, but certainly the Harry Styles that I still love.
Yeah, always great opening up an album with a great ha, and then into a bright, hopeful sound. Harry's lead vocals track is mostly just kind of a talky sound, but he's accompanied by several of himself in a soft falsetto to make for a good falsetto sound, to make for a good layered sound. God, his voice is also being used as like an instrument with the producers. I mean, with the do 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 do, like the golds that he uses that make the kind of underwater sounding bridge. I mean, he just uses the voice. There's no instrument. It's just Harry's voice is that. And then like we're underwater for then, and then we get pulled back up to the surface. It's the heckin' cool guitar riff that accompanies us throughout the rest of the song. And it's just awesome. I think it's a great song to kick off the album. And it doesn't act as a song driven by vocal performances like a lot of pop songs can be, but as a mixing and producing performance, more like for this song, which I think, is just stellar. I mean, I think this is kind of like where Bart was talking about, like he looked at the producer because it was just so awesome. Like this song, it's like Harry's not doing anything crazy. Why is this song so awesome? And it's all the producing, baby. It's all that producing. And it's awesome. I mean, they use his voice in several ways, so I mean, no discredit to his voice. It's still great, but they use it in a bunch of unique ways throughout, and it's super awesome. Yeah, and it starts off Fine Line banging, and it gives you that nice warm summertime vibe right off the start. And next off, we have Watermelon Sugar.
So, Watermelon Sugar, the song I wanted to hate so bad. I still want to hate it so bad, but I don't know that the Watermelon Sugar line just eats at me. I don't know. I hate it, but I can't help but love it. I can't. It's still so catchy that I can't skip it. I can still always listen to it and sing along with it. My other single complaint, other than that for some reason the chorus doesn't get me, is what is he saying? I never looked up the lyrics. What is he saying when he says, I want your belly, your Billy? I want your belly?
Yeah, I think so.
Belly, yeah.
What is that?
Or maybe it's I want your
bellies are nice.
berry.
I mean,
Tummies.
I mean, I'm
did look at
assuming
the
it's some
lyrics.
kind of innuendo, but I could not for the life of me put it together.
He likes her belly. You know,
No, who
I
says
concur
that? You want
totally.
your belly?
I can
Hey,
No.
Yeah, it is.
I'm
I
into
want your
bellies.
belly in that summer feeling.
I want your belly. That's not for me. That's a no.
Maybe it's
No,
UK
No.
slang.
that's a no from me, dog. It probably is. It
And for
probably
that
is.
reason, I'm out.
Okay, Cuban.
But I wanted to hit on what I guess kind of all of us have been talking about a little bit with that production. There's something about, it gives it this almost subconscious depth to the music that you don't even. It's there whether you're paying attention to it or not, and it's great if you're not, and it's great if you are. And I just gotta keep giving them props for that. I got some other factoids, but I'll share them because I'm gonna run out of stuff later. But this is an undeniably addictive track.
Yeah, and I'm going to say up front that, and I don't know which of you has heard Watermelon Sugar a billion times on the radio or whatever. I had not, so I had only been introduced to it by some okay, some not very okay covers on American Idol. Was where I was introduced to it. So I'm not like sick of it like some folks might be. With that said, vaccine alert, whoop, 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 vaccine alert. This one is extremely infectious. Look out. This is sticky sweet for sure. Sticky sweet for sure. And oh, so hooky. Repetitive, yes. But it sounds so good, you just keep imbibing. It's an obvious pop radio hit, and I don't know where they got a hold of that demo tape from Adam Levine and stole it and made it into their own song. But my God, this just doesn't sound like a Maroon 5 song. What does?
Here comes the downer.
It's Wake Up Gale.
It's hard to top that, so I won't. This song is, I would agree with everything that has been said about this song. It's fun, it's catchy, it's beautiful, but I have heard it way too many goddamn times. Like I'm exhausted of this song. Like I love it. It's a great song and fun, and it's a crowd pleaser, and I'm sick of it. It's great. I love it, but I'm exhausted by it.
And I hate it.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. I just fervently dislike it. No, that's
not. Yeah. One of, if not the biggest pop song out of the summer, this last summer, the summer following its release, reaching the top spot on the Hot 100 on August 10th of 2020. Watermelon Sugar is a massive earworm. I mean, the chorus is just the same 3 words 8 times. It's annoyingly genius. It's just 8 times the same 3 words. I mean,
yeah, that's brilliant.
Come on. I mean, everyone knows this tune. There's nothing hidden in this song. It's just a great radio pop song. Whether or not you've heard it a million times, you can acknowledge that. I mean, damn, that's radio. And man, it sucks so good. I mean, goddamn.
Honestly, not a bad way to put it.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Especially describing my attitude towards radio.
Sucks so good. All right. Adore You.
I think that's a perfect transition too, because I meant to ask about this in the last song and I'm getting around to it. So Watermelon Sugar, because I remember I don't ever listen to radio, no attention. So Watermelon Sugar is the massive hit.
Yes.
Is that's number 1 song on the album too?
Yes.
Okay.
I thought Golden was.
No, not even close. Golden has 324 million, and a Watermelon Sugar has 1.2 billion. So.
Oh, okay. Neck and neck.
That's nutty. Okay, and I had a feeling Watermelon Sugar would be number 1, but Adore You is my personal favorite of what I, not on the album, but of what I would consider like this first trio of radio ready tracks. I think all these first 3 are built for the pop charts. this one is my favorite. I don't know, probably because of the falsetto prominent in the chorus. I'm not sure. That's just speculation. But where does Adore You stand? Or could you give me like the top 3 to 5 of this album? I'm curious. And like, are there other ones radio hits too, or no?
Yep. So basically, the top 3 are all radio hits. It goes popular right now. It goes Watermelon Sugar, Golden, Adore You, and then 4 is Falling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What's it falling? One more. Give me one more.
One's After Falling would be. I said Golden, right? Yeah. What's After Falling is. Looks like it's kind of a mixed bag. It looks like there's kind of a 3-way tie here. Oh, wait, no, it's
I think
not.
it's Lights Up.
It is Lights Up. It's Lights Up.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. I think my gut would have said all that. Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't have much more to say about it. I mean, like I said, still super poppy. This one I like the most. It's probably the one that would last the longest before I got sick of it. And for me, there is one particular production angle on this that sticks with me, and it's that rhythm right after the chorus. I think it's a guitar where it's that dun 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 dun. I don't know what exactly is doing that, but I love that thing every time.
Yeah, for sure, another strong pop radio track. But only 3 songs in, and I'm starting to wonder about Harry's vocabulary.
Yeah,
He's repeated
yeah.
some similar phrases and used the same words a lot for 3 songs. Taste like strawberries on a summer evening. Strawberry lipstick, state of mind. I want more berries and that summer feeling. I want your belly and that summer feeling. Your wonder under summer sky. I'm hopeless broken, so you wait for me in the sky. I mean, I get these are universal themes, but maybe add another universal theme in the mix in the first 3 songs, Ben. Like maybe light. Light would be a good one. I wonder what a song about light might sound like. Maybe we'll find out soon.
Hater
I love that.
Hater alert.
Yeah, this is your wheelhouse, Dad. That's all pop. It's all pop radio, bro. This is what that is.
Yeah.
Now you're face to face with it. It's not so pretty all the time, huh?
No, this isn't about the music. It's just about some lyric content. That's all.
Okay.
Where's the sex? Where's the drugs? Where's the rock and roll? Berries. Come on. Lemons.
The first album.
Berries. It sounds like a Lucky Charms commercial.
It's called a metaphor, Dad.
Huh?
It's called a metaphor.
Bart took a lot of what I was going to say. I agree that this, of the trio of first songs, definitely my favorite of those 3. And this was the song for me where I think I realized that Harry wasn't going to be labeled just as the boy band guy anymore. And I think that really sank in during these last few listens. Especially with this song, because I think that he has the ability to create melodies and create hooks like no other. And I think that's what led him to a lot of this success, especially with this song. And it's a great song. It's just a great little tune.
Yeah, I love this tune. It's so contagiously upbeat and does a great job of continuing that warm weather feeling, that upbeat kind of, you know what it is. It's the same theme that's been going on the last 2 songs, and will continue for another one. Weirdly continues for another one. Maybe a little bit. But Harry's lighthearted, cheerful vocals absolutely crush on this track, and it's definitely in my top 3 of the album. This song just puts me in a good mood every time it comes on, and it's oh so singable. But isn't the same line over and over again, making you kind of feel stale, like Watermelon Sugar can be. I mean, you're just singing the same. Like if you're singing that song, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar. I mean, it gets boring. It's like you're not feeling like you're doing anything. So that's why this song gets put higher up on my list. But it's a banging tune. Obviously, I think we've all kind of established that this is kind of the better of the three for being the pop tune. Next up, we have Lights Up.
I'm not ever going back. So good, dude. This one to me is one of the best sleeper gems on the album. Maybe it's not even a sleeper because you said it was like number 6 popular, but as far as I don't know, this one isn't as much pop chart-y to me. It's got a little bit of like almost stadium rockiness. It's great though. I love the slappy percussion. That's what I like to call it. It's just kind of slapping around, but it's great. And it's got this awesome groove with the key and the choral break kind of towards the end. And I love the kind of echoing vocals as well. My only complaint about this song is that it's short. It honestly ends too soon for me. I want him to come back in one more time with a sha, jump into the light, or what does he say? Step into the light, or whatever. Yeah. I'm ready for at least one more round of those every time on this one. This one just leaves me wanting more.
Yeah, I really like this track musically. Very nice. But it turns out light as a universal theme didn't really grab me. It was a little too obtuse for me, but musically just fine.
Yeah, we start off with this really cool, like, acoustic beginning, which I really appreciate and like, and then we kind of shift into this really funky, catchy beat, which is super danceable and really easy to get behind. I found the chord progression also kind of interesting, especially during the chorus. It wasn't what I expected, and I think that's pleasant. Yeah, it's a super light and musically complex song. But this is where, for me, it starts to feel slightly overproduced, and I think it kind of gets in the way of his vocals, especially coming from his first solo record, where his vocals are pretty bare and not really meshed with other vocalists or himself over different tracks, which is a fine choice, but something that I was kind of missing out on.
Yeah, Lights Up, a song of self-reflection and discovery that inspires self-confidence into those who listen to. I mean, it's a great thing to wrap up the first chapter of this album. I kind of like to call it. It's kind of that warm summertime kind of feeling that this one doesn't have quite as much warmness as the last three did, but it's there, especially when you get to the shine, step into the light. You know, when it starts really going there, you can kind of feel it. Not actually, but Harry kind of describes the song as he was writing it about like self-discovery and finding himself and coming to terms with who we think he is, and just discovering that. And he actually released it on like national or international coming out day, which people have discussed. But he does not like to label his sexuality, so he has actually denied saying he is bisexual or straight or whatever. He says he doesn't feel a need to put a label on it, so that's a little fun fact for you. But yeah, I'm loving the sound. I love how the first chorus kind of acts like a build up into the first big shine of the bridge, which is super cool. And Harry's also rising, or in the background. His rising ohs in the background are also awesome. The percussion sounds like they could be recreated with any objects laying around the house. As Bart kind of said, they were kind of slappy. It sounds like you could pick up any form of sticks and start smacking things, and it would sound just like the percussion. which kind of makes it sound like to me, kind of like a in the moment sort of thing, but that also contrasts with the soaring background vocals of like the other singers too. But it makes for a cool effect, anyways. I think it's a great way to end that kind of typical radio pop song chapter of the album that we find ourselves leaving into this next song, Cherry.
So this is where the album loses me a little bit. Only for a second here, but this one didn't really get me. But I do want to say, because I think we're getting to a little bit more, a little deeper, a little bit more than surface level with the poppiness with some of this music. Maybe feeling our emotions a little bit. Jack, I don't know if normally you've got some factoids later. Are you gonna hit us with some as we keep going?
No, man, go ahead. I mean, if
Okay,
you got
well, I didn't
factoids.
want to spoiler, but I was trying to get a little, I was trying to dig a little bit on this one, and I don't know if you already mentioned this too, so sorry if I'm repetitive. I so I read that he wrote this like right after he had just broken up with his model girlfriend at the time. He was pretty torn up about it, and
Aw.
a lot of his inspiration was Joni Mitchell's Blue album, which I am absolutely not familiar with, but I looked it up just because I was like, I feel like I know Joni Mitchell, and I see it's like one of the greatest of all time albums, apparently, according to some people. So I was like, I got to check this out, listen to it a little bit. I mean, I don't know, I need to spend some more time on that. But the other thing I thought was interesting and relevant, remember when I posted that video before our episode last week at the guy on the hammer dulcimer?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of not hammer dulcimer, but dulcimer you just like pluck or use a pick on in the Joni Mitchell album, and thus there's also a decent amount in this album. I didn't actually try and pick out where it is and in what songs, but I thought that was pretty cool too.
Nice. Is that what you
I
had to say about Cherry?
No,
Okay.
Do you have things to say about Cherry? Or you're done with Cherry?
it's all you, man.
Oh.
Okay. Um, I love this sort of stripped down, simple, plaintive, still pop song. If Rick Rubin were to produce a track, I think it would sound like this. This one is naturally sweet. It's simple but still compelling and interesting. I dug this track. It's my dark horse.
That's a good choice. I love this track too, very, very much. I love the lovely opening, the super acoustic stripped back stuff. There's a sitar in this song, which is always a fun surprise. I love the sitar. Um,
I like saying Ravi Shankar.
Shankar, yeah, George Harrison and Ravi Shankar. Um, I love the line, "Don't you call him what you used to call me." That I don't know why that got stuck in my head, but it's a beautiful one and a fun one. Um, Great musical build. I love the middle, like almost a cappella part. I think there's just strings in the background at that point. That part's beautiful. He knows how to write a darn chorus because every single one of the songs so far has had a murderous chorus, and this is no exception. Great, great chorus. Got some sort of Led Zeppelin vibes. Like I'm thinking Led Zeppelin 4 with like the super acoustic stuff, Battle of Evermore, stuff like that. But now that you say Joni Mitchell's Blue, I hear that more and more now. And I kind of got some Peter Gabriel vibes a little bit from this one, but a great one. A great one.
Yes, the first glimpse into the sadness of the album surrounding Harry's breakup with his girlfriend. You can hear her voice throughout the song saying "cuckoo" in French, meaning hello in the context of the song, and at the end, a voice note he took of her while he was playing guitar, and she took a phone call and just happened to be talking in the key of the song. So that's kind of creepy, but also kind of cool. Always the French kind of speaking always takes me back to M83 Junk, especially that song with the little girl talking, and I'm like, okay. Even though that's a song that they don't really speak French, and that's what I always get for some reason. Yeah, and it's a weirdly kind of upbeat vibe to this sad song. It's like, "Don't you come, baby." I mean, we keep finding songs that are weirdly upbeat for how sad they are.
They're hybrids.
Yeah, but I mean, it's great nonetheless. I'm loving the song. And what always sticks out to me is that little part where everything fades and he comes in and he's like, "Does he take you walking round his parents' gallery?" And then it comes back, "Don't you come, baby." I mean, that's kind of cool. It's kind of like a drop in a way where it all gets quiet and then, "Don't you come," it comes back. Super cool. Love it. And now we delve deep into the sadness. We fall into it, you could say, with Falling.
Yeah, I really want to hear what you guys have to say about this one because I feel like I can acknowledge, or at least it seemed like to me, this is a really powerful song. It seemed like his voice kind of shines in this one, but this is one of those songs that just never. The beginning of the album just puts me in such a peppy mood, like in a good day kind of streak, where I just kind of want to stay on that when I'm listening to this. And the way, maybe it's just the way I was listening to it, where a shuffle would have been different. But always starting so positive, like when we'd start to slow down or get a little bit more mellow, I'm like, nope, let's keep going. I'm ready to keep being, bouncing around in my car here. So.
Well, here's what I say. This is the track. This is it, man. This is a terrific vocal performance. Break out your Bic and click it. It's a stadium swayer with your phone flashlight shining with thousands of others. This is my vote for the vault. Look out.
Wow. Okay. So I'm sleeping.
Or maybe I'm confused.
In a waking dream. Okay. I really like this song. I really, really love his vocal performance, and I think his vocal performance alone qualifies this song for at least a vault nomination. So I will agree to that. However, I do not like where this song is within the album. I can't go back to back on a ballad. Sure. It just, to me, that's like song listing of tracks 101 for me. But when I did put this on shuffle, and a song like Watermelon Sugar would play, and then this one, it was great, and I love this song by itself. It's just, I think it really speaks for itself.
Yeah, I mean, it's a masterpiece of a ballad, really showcasing Harry's voice and the emotion he can put into it. I mean, this is, and I highly suggest, I'm going to say it again, checking out Sweet Creature from the last album. It is the equivalent to that, and that is his number 5 song as well, at least in the popular right now on Spotify. It's another ballad, but it's so awesome. Also, it shifts the tone of the album quite a bit from the warm weather summer vibes from the first chapter of the album, I like to call it. But it's such a beautiful and powerful ballad that is incredible to sing to, and releases any emotions that you might need to get out, or something that you're feeling. If you, just sing this song, you'll match the emotion that he puts in. He does the hard work for you. If you want to put in some more work and maybe work some other things out, you got it, bro. But you don't need to. He kills it and does a great job at that. I can kind of see what you're saying. Are you saying that To Be So Lonely is the other ballad, and that's why you don't like them back to back, or are you saying Cherry was the ballad?
Cherry. I would consider Cherry more of a
Cool.
ballad.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right. All right.
Definitely not To Be So Lonely. I don't think so.
To Be So Lonely seems like an old Jason Mraz song.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're right, but
All right. But yeah, I love that song. Before I move in, we just got hit the halfway point. I had some help with my notes here, or not really, but a little inquiry from the girl who requested the album herself. She told me that,
from the old lady.
yeah, she told me, she asked what my favorite song was, and I said, it'll probably have to be, it's between Golden, Adore You, and Falling were my favorite. She's like, well, all of them are my favorite except Watermelon Sugar. So, that's a little something.
That's a take. That's a take.
Jesus, all
All right, and now we're gonna go into
It's so 2021. Everyone's a winner. Everybody gets the trophy. Do I sound like a boomer yet?
all
that's
right.
been true for the last decade at least.
The second half, starting off with To Be So Lonely.
You know, this is a perfect. I'm gonna actually just extend my halftime a little bit longer
All
here.
right.
Just say a little bit, and then I'm gonna just disappear for 1 second because I gotta be back for the next one. Spoiler, because that's what this song is to me. Purely a bridge to the next one. This is an always skip for me, and actually, um, it's not because it's bad. It's not because it's bad. I have nothing bad to say about it. It's just
Wow.
I sat down to do notes for this twice. Once today when we got back from Minnesota, and once last week before I knew we were going to do something else. And both times I couldn't remember what this song even was like. I had to go back and listen to it. So to me, that's really all I need.
Okay.
That so confirms what I have to share on the next track. Him saying that. I can't wait. But I don't want to pass this one. I don't think this is a skipper at all.
No.
I think it's a catchy little ditty with something of a different flavor, and the album could use it at this point. No strawberry or watermelon in this one. I think it's a real nice change of pace and just the right spot on the record. I like it.
Agree to everything that you just said, Mark. And I am infatuated with the guitar riff. I love it so much. I could listen to that all day. All day. I love the Spanish guitar. I love the slower samba feel. And the only other note that differs is who broke this man's heart? It's like, first of all, you were in one of the biggest pop groups of my generation. You have models. Like, you could have anybody. You could have any girl you want.
Yeah.
You have an amount of money that I will never see in my lifetime. Why are you so lonely? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
It's the same
But
girl. It's the
he's
same
pretty.
girl, Kale. It's the same girl.
It's the same damn girl.
He's writing as if he were you or I.
Yeah.
Come on.
He's empathizing.
He's not a person just because he's famous.
Or extremely.
How rough would it be if I was that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that Spanish guitar, I think, is the guitarlele, I think is what you're talking about. Actually gets on my nerves with this song.
Really?
I mean, it's repetitive. It's like the same thing. It's like it
Hell
does the
yeah.
same thing back and forth. And I mean, if I get caught in the wrong mood, that guitarlele fucking pisses me off, bro. I I love the
Oh.
vocals about the song. I love everything, especially in the chorus when the guitarlele gets rid of itself. Awesome, bro. Love it.
Bart, is that a Caucasian?
Maybe. Wait, are you talking about me or the drink?
Yes.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, I love Harry's, his little thing he's doing with his voice. He's kind of cute. It's like, don't blame me for falling. I was just a little boy. I mean, it's so fun, boppy back and forth. But the guitarlele, man, I hate that part, bro. I just can't do it. It's not. It ain't for me, bro. But let's go on to She.
Oh, I want to sing. I want to hit this falsetto for you guys so bad, so bad. But I'm not warmed up, but I want to hit it so bad. I mean, I don't even know what to say about this one. Maybe it just caught me in the right mood because I know that this one is pretty repetitive, but I don't know. This one just really, really got me. I'm sure it's partially the falsetto, but it just grabs me and drags me along the whole time. I'm just waiting for that chorus to come right back in. And we had kind of a funny moment in the car today. Dad, I think you and Mariah would get along in this aspect. In that, Tame Impala sometimes has some moments in their music, just as an example, because it's every podcast.
Take a shot. Take a shot.
I'm not comparing this song to Tame Impala because I don't necessarily would say they're similar, but there's a lot going on in a Tame Impala song at once. And if you're playing it really loud and you're not ready for that kind of overstimulation, maybe it'll give you a headache, or maybe it just won't sound good to you. I don't know. But the electric guitar solo in this is a little wild. And I'm into it, though. I'm into it at the point when he's just ripping on it. I'm in that fugue with him in the music, and as he string along with the She. But Mariah I had it for 3/4 of the way up the volume, at least, in the car, and she cranks it all the way down to 2. And it's like, this is too much right now. This is too much. So maybe it's a Bart specific taste. I don't know, but this is maybe my favorite. Probably second favorite, but it's up there for me. I really like this.
I think I kind of predicted that. Like, this is definitely a Bart song. Like, I think if anything was a Bart song on this album, it was predictable that it was going to be She.
No question. Here's the first part of my notes. Tame Impala alert. Tame Impala alert. And my next sentence is, this is the Bart track on the album.
All right. Easy, Bart Stradamus over there. Okay.
However, I will say this. It is a funky, semi-mellow groove. The falsetto, I did not care for this track at first because of the Tame Impala-ishness. But it has really grown on me as it works itself into a nice little jam of a song, really. So I did manage to overcome my Tame Impala allergy and like this song.
So before Kale hops in, I wanted to say I feel like I didn't quite talk about this song enough. There are just two more things. This one's a little bit of a grinder, I think, when it comes down to it. Like, maybe especially no more alerts. Also, I'm the alert guy. Quit stealing my alerts. Even if yours are hilarious, come on, that's my thing. No, I love it. Please keep doing it. It's a little bit grindy, but I love grinding this one, and I like when I get into this one, I'm like banging my head along with music, like she lives in daydreams with me. Like, I don't know. This one can really, really suck me in. Anyway, Kale, hit.
Is this like a Beatles White Album track or something?
It was
Can't
so
remember
weird.
yeah, if it was
So
this track, I feel like it was.
I totally like one of my notes literally says Beatles-esque. It is. It's extremely. It's a very Beatles-ish song. Cool intro. We're still really slow. Like this is every time I've listened to this, it's like this is the slow section because every song so far has had a really slow under 100 BPM, which is fine. But it's getting a little old at this point. But if it weren't for the great hook of this song, the great production choices which are made, especially towards the end of the song, to the narrative-ish lyrics, and the greatness of the music, I would have not liked this song nearly as much. Certainly not my favorite, but one which I adore.
Yeah, she one that I have never really disliked but never really enjoyed a whole lot. I think it's just because the verses, for some reason I want to understand this song, but I don't know what she is. I feel like it's not a person necessarily, but I don't know what it is and I'm stumped. Um and so that kind of like pushes me away for some reason. Not to say that's bad. I do enjoy it, and during the bridge, he has that really pretty part, and she sleeps in his bed. You know that part. He gets really high, and it's very pretty. You gotta love that part. But the rest is just like, eh. I don't know how I feel about it. It's definitely a Bart song, just because it is so out there compared to some of the rest of the stuff being very poppy. Uh, I thought it was very predictable and funny how we all kind of saw it coming.
Gonna read him like a comic book.
Yeah. On to our next one, Sunflower, Volume 6.
Yes, the clouds have parted and the sun and light are back out, and we're back into chill zone a little bit with this one. At least maybe we're not like super upbeat, but at least the mood is up. If not the tempo. I'm glad it says volume 6 because whenever I listen to this song, I think of the summer hit from a year or two ago, maybe 3 years ago now, the one from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes, the
You're
Post
familiar?
Malone.
Yes. I mean, they're not like anywhere near identical tracks, but just like thematically and kind of the vibe to them. This one always reminds me of that one, and I really liked that one. So a little bit of a high bar. This one's good. It's good. It's catchy. I like the mood shift, especially where we're at in the album. But this one's a little bit more forgettable for me, even though it's pretty catchy compared to the beginning of the album.
Yeah, very catchy song, yet it doesn't stand out for me. Sunflower is too sweet, I think. Um, Not enough carbs on this one.
This is a pool song, man. This is a pool song, 100%. This is a backyard party song.
But it's no in the pool.
Yeah. I love the swaying beat. This song is very easy to sway to, which makes it fun, and it's darling. It's a darling little song. And I love the line, "Kiss in the kitchen," like it's a dance floor. I love it. I love it. It's a beautiful. This for me is my sleeper. This is my sleeper hit. One that I think will be forgotten, but one which I will not forget, and certainly one that has been added to some playlists, just because it's so complex yet easy to listen to, and just it's just perfect, like right in the middle of being complicated and really simple, and easy to rock back and forth to, and it's great. It's wonderful.
Yeah, I love the ways that this from each section of the song, the way he sings each part changes. So like the intro and the verses are very kind of start stop, and then it changes. Like so the intro, for example, goes sunflower, my eyes want you more than a melody. Sunflowers, sometimes it's it's start stop, and then the pre-chorus is I don't want to make you feel bad, but I've been trying hard not to talk to you. It's very, you're going with it, you're swaying to it, and then the chorus is it gets higher, kind of in the same way the pre-chorus is I couldn't want you anymore, kiss in the kitchen like it's a dance floor. And then it goes tonight, and it's super cool. I also love the way it goes. I love the shade sunflower, and then it goes and then it comes back with your flowers just died. Very fun. Yes, I would say this is probably the sleeper, and maybe even the next one, maybe a little bit of a sleeper as well. That's kind of these kind of next three songs. This one, Sunflower, Canyon Moon, and Treat People with Kindness, all kind of interesting. Not they're all a little bit of a sleepers, but this is the big one for me, the big sleeper for me. But yes, next we have Canyon Moon.
I don't really have a lot on this one. Let's I'll come back in maybe if I got anything. You guys go ahead first.
This one's kind of a hybrid for me. This may not be the exact artist, but it's a little James Taylor, it's a little Jimmy Buffett, or something like that. There's a combo here of some sort, and I think I'd prefer it to be one or the other. But I still don't mind this song, and I think it's worth the ride. Not a skipper. I find it interesting.
I'm always wrong. I'm always wrong. This is my favorite song. This is my favorite song on the album. I just can't, like, this is peak sweetness for me. This is exactly where this song needs to be. In my opinion, it just puts a smile on my face every time I hear it. And it's a simple message about going back to a happier time and a happier place. Oh, I'm going back to my home. I love it. I love the whistling. I love it's so summery, and it reminds me of dusk and fireflies and dewy grass and wonderful things like shorts and barefoot feet. And I don't know. This is my favorite song because it's beautiful. It's just beautiful. And I will begin a Facebook group to get this song more attention because it deserves it. I think this song is great.
Fans of Harry Styles, Canyon Moon, what would you call the group? I thought I was onto something there, but maybe you can do. But we can
Harry
workshop.
B-side fans.
I'm not even into the song like
the
that.
Mooners.
Get this off the ground.
Canyon Mooners. Yeah, this one's fun. I thought, were you saying you were wrong? Did you think Dad would like this song? Is that what you were saying, Kale? Or
no, I think Bart's wrong for sleeping on it. Don't sleep on this song.
Yeah,
deserves more credit.
Yeah. If anything, I was gonna say, if anything, you can call me wrong. Don't call yourself wrong, because that's like me saying I'm wrong for loving She. No, if I didn't love She, if I didn't love She, the world wouldn't be right. And I think I think if I thought about this a little bit more in terms of, I wonder who's gonna like what, I might have been able to peg you for this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Harry titled or dubbed this song Crosby, Stills, and Nash on Steroids, is what he dubbed this song. I'm kind of surprised that I didn't like it because it starts off with that guitar riff, and he's infamous for liking those. It goes dun 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 dun.
I did like that.
Okay. But yeah, I like this, and the verses are super singable. I love the one about the kind of talking and the lovers. It's the quick pause in conversation. She plays songs I've never heard. Pretends not to know the words, and I keep thinking back to the time under the canyon moon. Yeah, I mean, I love this song. This song's very fun. As Kale was kind of saying, I don't necessarily get the dusk part of what he was saying, but I can see the image of summer day. Everything else besides maybe dusk is, well, actually dusk. I'm thinking dusk is dark, but dusk is actually still light out. So maybe you're right. Yeah, fireflies going on, maybe a fire. We're all playing, maybe getting ready for some tag when it turns night, or hide and seek in the
Some
dark.
bongos, some acoustic guitars. Yeah.
Yeah, I was too young for that, but from where I'm picturing. But yeah. I mean, nowadays, I'd bongo this out.
Hell yeah, dude.
Me, you, Gabe Fink by a fire. I'll bongo this out while you two are strumming it out.
Our long hair, our flowers,
Yeah. For
barefoot.
Sure.
A bunch of
This is a vibe.
sunflower.
But yeah, let's go to maybe the most out of place song, in my opinion. Treat people with kindness.
Almost like feels out of era or something. I don't even know. I love the message. I love the message here. But yeah, this one was just like, what are we on? What's this one about? This is a no for me as well.
My notes consist of, I like the theme of the song. That's all I got.
Okay.
I have two notes. This is like a 60s pop chart song. And then the second note is doesn't fit. And that's all I have to say. It does not. This just is so out of left field for me that I'm like, nope. Thank you.
Yeah, now for some reason we're in like some soul with a big choir. All together, people. And it's like, what? Are we on a street side and they're watching? Is this part of like a parade or what's going on? I mean, I kind of like the vibe, but it's like, this, I don't feel like this necessarily belongs. I mean, cool message, yeah, treat people with kindness, but then he hits with this, and if our friends all pass away, and I'm like, okay, what? I don't want to think about my friends dying, but sure. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting to say the least. I mean, yeah, whatever. And then to finish it all off, the title track, Fine Line.
I don't know. I wish I had more to say about this one. I don't really have much. I'd like to hear some second opinions. Really.
Okay.
I will give you one. I'm a little surprised by that, Mr. Hansen. For me, this song holds true to my theory that title tracks are often the weakest tracks on many albums. There's nothing interesting here at all to me. It feels like filler. However, I would have guessed that this would have Bart's song runner-up honors. I thought for sure this was kind of in your strike zone there. I thought you were going to like this one.
No, I'm actually glad you said that. I mean, I'll be curious to hear what these two have to say, but because I was about to kind of trash this one. And I didn't really want to do that for so many on the back half. I mean, not trash them, but, you know,
Criticize.
maybe not give them a lot of credit. So What about you two boys?
It's a beautiful song, but it's been done before.
Sure. Yeah, I feel like there's not much to it. It just kind of like builds maybe musically while he kind of says the same thing over and over. Um, so I'm not a huge fan of it. Like I don't like this song much at all. But I can read what Harry has said about it. He thinks that he thought that the album maybe needed some balance between the highs and the lows, and this was his kind of solution for it. He thought that this song was always he knew that the song was always going to be last, and writing this song and the album, like some of the happiest times he ever felt were writing this album, and some of the times he felt sad were the lowest he's ever felt during this time in his life as well. So I think this fine line is kind of describing that kind of, bouncing back between the two motions, and it is maybe a fine line between the two. But I don't know. I mean, sure, it can. I think it's trying to be an epic outro song, but I don't think it like builds enough into a way. I think it's still focused maybe too much on Harry, and not enough on the instrumental. I mean, I think in this album there's been a focus on both production and Harry's vocals, but I don't know if there's necessarily been enough focus, at least for this song, on the instrumental, because that would what for me make it the epic song is a massive buildup of instruments that resolve into something really huge and awesome and epic in a way, but I don't feel like the song does it for me. Anything?
That wraps us, doesn't it?
Yeah, that does wrap us.
Come on, we gotta end on a bang, not on that blasé note.
Then we'll end it on the vault.
Flip. Hey, also, I wanted to ask earlier, when it's a vaccine alert, what's the sound effect? Like a squishy, gross water noise, like something coming out of the vaccine, like somebody tapping the needle, or what's the vaccine sound effect?
Not a simple ouch.
I thought about that too.
All right. Does anyone have nominations they want to throw out? I know we got one from Dad for. Was it Falling, or it was Falling, right?
Yep.
Was.
Did say Falling. I think I don't really care which we pick. If I was gonna pick one, I would pick Adore You. But for me, it's gotta be one of the first three. I mean, this he's got his pop legacy. I feel like this album is built around those poppy tracks. He's doing some other fun stuff in there, but it's built around these. These are the bangers. These are what he's known for. It's gotta be one of these radio ready singles.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you gonna say Canyon Moon?
No, I'm not. Though it is my favorite.
I
not...
didn't say she. Some battles aren't worth fighting.
Yeah. This is really difficult. Come back to me. Jack, what do you have to say?
All right. Dad, did you have any other nominations beside The Falling?
I realized that maybe that was my need to be a little contrarian. I realize it's going to be more than likely one of the first three. And I guess I don't care which.
Okay. Well, I am not going to be of any help. I love Adore You and Falling. I think they both serve their different purposes. If they were to be vault songs, Falling really showing off Harry's vocal skills and just his prowess and awesomeness in ballads. and Adore You showing how he just also dominates pop. He's had his, whole body drenched in pop for quite a while, especially with his boy band phase. But I mean, also the separation from that with Falling and other songs in the album, I think could be represented with Falling. So I'm happy with either to be represented. Maybe we come back in a year and look at his first album and we're like, okay, let's put something else in here because there's no pop songs on that one. But you never know. We'll see. Okay.
I'm in the exact same pickle. I think they're both. Wonderful choices.
I could get the expert herself to make the decision.
This might be a
good plan.
How about this? Is she there right now? Is she there?
Yeah, she's here. I can grab her for a second.
Well, what do we have it narrowed down to? I was spacing for a second.
I think it's Falling and Adore You. I think were the
Yeah. Okay. Have her pick.
All right.
Tell her that we've narrowed it down. It's 50-50. These are our top two tracks. If she's got to pick one.
Presented on podcast for the first time. So I have Falling and Adore You to choose from.
Yes.
Unless you want to argue.
These are the last two tracks left standing. You have to pick one to be sealed away forever for future generations to hear. This will be the only memory left of this album.
Oh, jeez. How sad. I think I'd have to go with Falling. I think that song never gets old.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
I just love the emotion in that song.
The Rick Rubin track.
And I just love that.
I can respect that.
I can live with it.
Okay.
I'll take the expert opinion.
Thank you. Until next time.
No, thank you.
Yes, I owe you one.
Oh, there you have it.
We
ladies
talked
and gentlemen.
before the podcast.
That's what I
thought. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit in disbelief here. But I'd argue if she's someone who's very experienced with the album, Adore You could be a little wearing, whereas Falling's a little bit more novel,
Sure.
Yeah, means it stood the test of more listens, right?
You're the committed listener. We're not all podcast deep divers here. I mean, we are all, but you get what I'm saying.
All right. Let's go round with the ratings.
Oh, sorry, I forgot the order. Well, I would say this album's batting about 500 for me on track list. So, but that's a strong. The 500 that are good are good. So let's go with no context where the rest of mine are because I don't even have that page pulled up. 3.5.
3.5.
I would like to go with a 3.4.
I will settle at a 3.5 as well.
Oh. See, and that's where I'm stuck too, because I'm holding myself to these solid numbers only.
Don't put yourself in a box, bro.
But that's my integrity now as a reviewer.
Is it integrity or is it pure stubbornness and ego?
That's what it is.
Because between the 3 and the 4 is hard. I think there's just, while there are high highs, there's just enough lows as well. Not necessarily super low lows. I mean, there's like 1 or 2 in there, but it's like, I don't know. It doesn't necessarily stand up to me as maybe a 4. So I think I got to give it a 3.
I think you made the right choice.
Yeah. Which brings our average to 3.35.
Not bad.
Now, you're going to have to remind me who is pick is it? Is it Kale's pick?
Leave it.
Yes, it is.
All right.
Buckle up.
Buckle up, people.
Buckle up, Buttercup.
So this needs a little bit of context first. At my uncle's house, he's got a ton of records that he doesn't listen to anymore. He's letting me actually have a handful of them. And I'm kind of thumbing my way. I find this really bizarre album art. And you know me. If I see a bizarre album, I'm going to take it. But the name of the artist is somebody who is actually very popular. Well, was very popular, and in my opinion, a very underrated and misunderstood artist. To the point where this album has been on my turntable pretty much every time I have put on a record. And there it is.
Uh-oh. What do we got here?
Garden of
It is
Love.
James.
Garden of Love by Rick James from 1980. For those of you who are listening, go ahead and check out the album art. It's pretty out there and kind of cool. But I love this album and I can't get enough of it, and I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I have.
This is infamous Super Freak.
And for extra credit this week, I have a couple of very short videos about Rick James to send you guys.
Wow. Love that there's an 11-minute banger on here. Almost 12.
Oh God.
That's extra. That's not part of the. That's extra credit. Because that's I think it's the extended version. Yeah.
It is. Okay.
Cool.
Gypsy is still part of it though, right? Or is it just the first 7?
Actually, that's a bonus track. So I think it's the first 7 that you're going to go with.
Wow. Okay. I love it. Short and sweet.
Yeah,
Damn.
That's excellent for me these days.
you bet.
Hey, before we wrap up, did anyone else besides Jack and I listen through to the new Parker Millsap?
No, I wanted to comment on that, that I was going to give it a shot when I had a chance, but I was going to ask how it was after you put it out there the other day that it had come out. So what'd you guys think?
Dad, I'm interested to hear.
I thought I thought it was a little more produced, a little more polished than previous stuff, to its detriment. There is a little less of what I came to consider Parker's personality with the quirkiness. This one had less of that. And as Jack kind of alluded to, it was fewer bangers. It was just, he needed more Rick Rubin, maybe on this one. There's a couple of standouts, but certainly the other album shines brighter than this one for me. I mean, on one listen, granted.
Dang. Yeah, so I'm just looking like I wanted to say like he's growing older. He's maturing is what I'm thinking is happening, at least musically. So when I listen to it, especially recently, I've found myself going back to especially the two bangers from the very last day, Hades Pleads, and Hades Pleads and Hands Up, where he's got that really, rock country kind of like, that those bangers going, is what I keep finding myself coming back to. And on this album, Be Here Instead, it sounds like he's really matured. And I'm like, man, this guy's getting old. And then I look up how old he is. He's 25. Like, he's not old.
You're kidding.
No, he's 25. I'm like, huh? I'm like, so this guy's mature for his age. I mean, it's going. Although there is one absolute, it's so smooth and groovy. Vulnerable is so unbelievably amazing. It's
a nice one.
It's so awesome. I highly suggest, if you don't even want to listen to the full album, but you want to give it a peek, check out Vulnerable. The rest of the songs aren't really like it. It's kind of unique in its sound compared to the album, but I love it so much. It's ever since I listened to it before the album came out, it's been pretty much on repeat along with the other two songs I mentioned. So I've been on a kind of a Parker Millsap kick, kind of. So I think I've come to say that now there's been something I've come back to from each of us, really, which I'm happy to say. And it's not even like recently necessarily, but I've just come to realize it recently because I'm now going back. I'm like, dang, these are great. Like, so from Bart, as of recently, I keep going back to Junk M83. I've said it once and again. I mean, I love that. I think there's more, but they're not on my head right now. Oh, well, I don't classify this as a Bart pick because it wasn't something he had listened to before, but The Strokes, The New Abnormal, I've been listening to nonstop at work. Kales, Parker Millsap, and Alabama Shakes, they're in rotation. Dad, The Doors.
Wow, I forgot about the Shakes.
Yeah, The Doors have been big on my hit. Like, when you were talking about them a lot before the podcast, and I'm like, okay, it's got to be The Doors. And I didn't even remember who The Doors were. Like, I had none of their songs saved, and you just kept talking about it. I was like, ugh, it's gonna be The Doors. And then I listened to the thing, and I'm like, actually, what was I talking about? These guys bang. I'm driving to work. I put on L.A. Woman. That gets me halfway there. I'm like, whew, sheesh. I mean, that's awesome. I love L.A. Woman. That gets me there all the time.
I finally got on that heavy kick I think you guys were on a while back. My Amazon Music, for some reason, will not stop. Normally my go-to is putting my Amazon Music, just my full library, on shuffle. And I don't know what it is. Last week, they just, every single time in the first 10 tracks, a heavy song would come on and be like, all right, no, I'm fine. Yeah, I won't skip it. I mean, they're almost all good, so... that's the most recent pod one I've been on. And then, once I get one going, I'm like, oh yeah, I could listen to this other one too.
That's so great. That's what I love about this.
Mm-hmm.
Miniature Tigers, still in my playlist. You bet.
Oh, shit, I forgot to put that one.
You bet. I enjoyed Miniature Tigers a lot.
Yeah.
And Psycho Circus. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Wiz Khalifa.
I'm not even sure Psycho Circus is in my library. I think I only have that one on hard copy.
God gave rock and roll to us, man. Hot rotation.
All right. I think that'll do it for us this week. Thank you so much for listening to Passing Notes Podcast. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, basically anywhere else you get your podcast. You can watch us on YouTube. Leave a comment, and we'll read it on next week's pod or whatever week it comes out on, because we have scheduling issues often. But it will come out, and we will read your comment. Thank you for listening. This has been Jack, Bart, Mark, and Kale. Peace out.